Hello. Thanks for tuning in. This is Dr. B. Let's get to it. Stress. I thought I'd offer a quick overview and some do's and don'ts in combating stress since we've been awash in it over the past year. We live in a stress-filled world. Excessive stress is a killer. Heart attacks, other heart issues, stroke, diabetes, all form and fashion of gastrointestinal issues, anxiety, depression, and depression, of course, is the number one cause of disability both nationally and internationally. And of course, depression unchecked can lead to suicide. So when we think of stress, what we're talking about here is the mobilizing of the body and the mind to deal with the demands or dangers that it's facing. Years ago, Hans Selye offered a paradigm on stress described as alarm, resistance, and exhaustion. Essentially, when there's a threat, the mind and body are alerted. Then the mind and body go into a resistance phase where it's trying to reach a form of equilibrium to deal with whatever the demand or threat is. Unfortunately, if that demand or threat persists, we can use up our internal resources and reach a point of exhaustion. Really, stress is meant to be a sprint, not a marathon. If I'm standing on the train tracks and I hear a whistle blow behind me, I'm mobilized to step off the tracks and the threat is past. Unfortunately, if I'm walking down those same tracks and I'm in a tunnel and I hear that whistle blow, I start to run. I start to try to stay ahead of whatever that threat, danger is. And unfortunately, if that's a long tunnel, eventually that train catches up with me. We used to refer to this as burnout. And since stress is often prolonged, we want to reduce and manage it. So here are some do's and don'ts. Do express emotion, especially anger, appropriately. Don't hold on to those feelings and suppress them. They'll eat us alive from the inside out. They'll drain us both physically and mentally, and eventually you can reach a point where we emotionally explode or emotionally collapse. Do treat yourself well. Don't overlook need for sleep, exercise, healthy diet, and routine. Be careful of excessive alcohol, sugar, nicotine, caffeine, and stay away from illicit drugs. Do plan and anticipate. Think about what's coming up and what you can realistically do to plan your days to deal with whatever is on the offing. Don't worry. Realistically assess what is and isn't possible and then apply your resources. Many people engage in worry, and worry uses those precious resources, time, emotion. It tends to distract, and it doesn't control what we're concerned about. Unfortunately, many people become under the illusion that by worrying they're somehow exerting control, and that is just not so. Do accept your history and let go of the negative fears and feelings that go along with that. Don't hold on to the past. Yet we have no power there, no influence. Yes, there are things that happen that we wish hadn't happened and we need to grieve those things, but we need to reach a point where we're able to let go so that we can move on. Do plan how to use your money. Don't just spend. Think of your obligations, your needs, and your limitations. You only have so much money in your checking account and in your pockets. So take time to decide. Some people will actually freeze their credit cards in their freezers so that they have to thaw them out before they use them. This in order to delay an impulse buy. Also think of using a budget. That way you can know where your money's going. Money can be an incredible stressor. And so many relationships are destroyed because of financial concerns. Do focus on important issues. They used to say don't major on the minors. Apply your resources where they're going to do the most good. Choose your battles. Do get it done. Don't procrastinate. There's less emotional cost in the long run if we just do what we need to get done. Otherwise, it's like a dark cloud that kind of hovers over us, reminding us we need to eventually get to this. And it just takes, it's like paying credit card debt. It just keeps getting eked out. Do balance logic and emotion. Don't allow pure logic or pure emotion to rule. There needs to be a balance. Sound decisions do require logic, but logic also considers the effects of decisions on people and relationships. Do interact and cooperate with others. Don't be too prideful or a loner, trying to do it all on your own. At times we all need some help, and we all need some counsel. There are others that know more about certain things than we do, and we're not always objective when we're dealing with certain problems or decisions. Finally, do take personal responsibility. Don't allow denial or excuses to impede doing what's right. Spend those precious resources on what you, not others, are responsible for, and what you're actually able to do. We need to be realistic. In conclusion, these are just a few thoughts for managing stress. It is a battle, and I hope you find these recommendations helpful. And finally, remember this. We need to manage our stress, or our stress will manage us.